This is one example of dealing with CAD data while importing Topo. So this is a small site that we imported the Topo, and I want to show you something. In these areas, because they smooth the contour lines are crossing each other. This would have disastrous effects on earthwork calculations on any software. You can see these multiple spots where, because they wanted to show smooth lines, it really produces an excessive amount of points. Now what we're going to do here is look at the amount of points that are on a line. So I'm going to go into report and then left click point numbers. Wow, a ton of points on those contour lines. When dealing with different sources, no two contour data will be the same. There's a lot of planimetric data I want to get rid of, so I'm going to hit delete by layer. I'm going to move all the layers over to the right. And then I'm just going to take the topo and some of the edges of concrete and pavement, and then I'm going to move those over to the left. And so those are the ones we're going to save. And then I'll hit selected and OK. Then I'll press the U key to delete unused points, and you'll see 4,200 points were eliminated off of some of the planimetric data I needed. But you see there's still planimetric data in there. So now what I'm going to do is, that's in layer 169, is I'm just going to move 169 over to the right, get rid of it. And pressing U again, you'll see on the upper right corner 11,900 additional points are gone, but then we still have a lot of points in the contour lines themselves. I actually don't need any of that data on the south, and since these are individual lines, I'll hit edit, delete by zoom area, and then box in that area. I'm erasing the elements in that area, and I'll hit submit to get rid of those individual lines and also those lines that do cross each other that we saw earlier, so that goes away. So the next thing I'm doing is under topography, I'm creating polylines from lines. And then once that's done, you'll have to refresh the screen so I could see that. And then you'll go into edit, and then under polylines, what you'll do is the middle button for all of the polylines, press that, do the automatic strip of the data, slide it way over to the left, hit submit. Now what we're going to do is zoom up on one of those lines, and you're going to see all the points in red that were deleted, and yet the lines are exactly where they were before. So now we'll hit delete the points that are not needed, and there's another 16,096 points that are gone. So now when we look at those individual lines, look how few points they are, yet they're the exact same contour. And this is how you would use these features to get rid of all these excess points, and then you're ready to create a DTM. I would take the planimetric data out, of course, because it's crossing the contour lines, but that's DTM ready. Also, what's very important is on occasion to save this data. Maybe you erase too much. You won't be able to go back without doing all this process again. So make sure your data is saved away. Now, we were very fortunate to get the data from the land surveyor of the original survey points, which is 2,000 points instead of nearly 40,000 points to replicate the topo. So we're able to replicate the exact same surface with just 5% of the data. 5%. Can you imagine how much faster the earthwork, the calculations, everything goes? But more important, that the site itself is not going to bog down the 3D performance because you need the least amount of data to get the more performance out of interactive 3D and VR. And again, this is just one example. No two data sources are going to be alike.